standing out there, and when he's out on his back porch, this little 3-foot being steps out, or 4-foot being stepped out, right? And he described it the following way, that it was childlike, humanoid, but childlike. It looked like it had glass. He described it as looking like it was made of glass, or wearing clothes that resembled glass. And it shined like the moon with this glowing, right? And it's another thing I want to let you know too, is that this wasn't a typical gray alien sighting, right? He described it as something completely different. In fact, he described it as a being that I've covered on the story that was caught down one time in Brazil as well, right? Having like this reddish eye, but the being was kind of a grayish being, right? So that's an important detail that I want to lay in there, right? And he told the being, is like, hey, look, I surrender. I don't want any problems. I'm not here to do anything wrong. And the being was like, you got it all wrong, man. Like, they didn't say man. He's like, you got it all wrong. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you, right? And that kind of threw him off a little bit. But then when that happened, he had kind of had like this moment where like his adrenaline died away. And he realized that he had felt no fear ever since the initial encounter with these orbs. He was completely at peace. Even the drive back home, all the stuff that was going on, even looking at this being that he's looking at, he says, he didn't have any fear, right? The dog came shooting out of the bushes. There was like a flash of light or whatever. And he disappeared. It was gone. So then he goes back into his house. And I told you that story because it actually plays into a huge part of the prophecy that he later goes on to say. He calms down his son, kind of has a rough evening with his son, right? It's traumatic, you know. Gets up the next day, still having these, you know, things going on, right? His son's still in trauma. Later in the afternoon goes by, then he realizes something, that he forgot to take his medication, right? And I guess for Crohn's disease, you have to take this medication every day. And if you skip it, just even by a little bit, it can really mess you up for like literally months. It could lay you up, right? But all the stuff that was going on, he forgot to take it. But he felt fine, right? And so everything like that, man, he kind of just, I'm going to skip forward a little bit, man. Everything calmed down. A week later, he's just feeling great. He went to the doctor, and the doctor says, you do not have Crohn's disease anymore. You just don't have it, right? The encounter with these beings and this orb and this missing time healed him, right? And that's another claim, too, that you don't often see made in these type of encounters, where it talks about how people, you know, are healed. This is very rare that this has happened, right? And it's unusual, I would say. It's not rare, but it's unusual. But after that, fam, these sightings did not stop, right? To this day, he started having more orb encounters, reports seeing continued interaction with lights, things like that. And his initial description of these things is that he thought they were angels.
Subscribe now and turn on notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.